Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us. Our top story tonight is the upcoming cold. Temperatures are set to dip below zero and wind chills in the double-digit negatives over the next 3 days. And this might cause a lot of problems in your home. So tonight, we're sharing tips for homeowners to prepare for this bitter weather. Dominique O'Neill joined us in studio with more. Dom, you caught up with a local expert. What did you find out?
Well, Michael, I spoke to a local expert named Tom Wojciechowski, the owner of Wojo's Heating and Cooling. He shared some tips for winterizing your home. Wojciechowski says insulate your pipes and weatherproof your doors and windows. Also check your furnace and water heaters to make sure they're working efficiently. He says one thing you should do is keep your thermostat at a maintained level every year during the coldest days, because they'll make sure your pipes don't freeze. Wojciechowski says protecting those pipes during the coldest days is extremely important.
But when it gets extremely cold down to single digits, I would advise you to keep the thermostat set. You know, if you keep it at 68, 70 degrees, keep it there. Because if there are pipes in colder areas in certain rooms, this will only help the situation to prevent them from freezing.
And I'll have more ideas about how to keep the pipes running smoothly during the deep freeze coming up tonight at 11. Reporting in studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
All right, thanks, Dom. If you're heading out on the road, you should make sure your car is ready to handle that cold too. Mechanics we talked to say you should check the condition of your car battery and make sure your fluid levels are where they're supposed to be.
Just want to make sure that your washer is filled up. Check your coolant to make sure your coolant is the proper level.
Mechanics also recommend checking your tire pressure before you hit the road, and they say you should do it often. They say 3 to 4 pounds of tire pressure can be lost because of the cold temperatures we're feeling right now. And speaking of the cars and cold, a lot of us do it, but should you use your windshield wiper fluid in freezing temperatures? Well, according to AutoZone, the fluid normally is made up of water and additives. So if the temperature drops a lot, the water in the fluid can freeze. If it's below 32 below outside, that means it can freeze onto your windshield. AAA suggests using a fluid with antifreeze properties during the winter months, so look for labels that say cold weather use. They can withstand temperatures of up to 30 below zero. Glenwood Lutheran Church in North Toledo held its annual celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The service included sermons and music performances reflecting on Dr. King's legacy. The celebration is given a new theme each year based on Dr. King's principles. This year's message is having the courage to be the change. Alicia Smith, Executive Director of the Junction Coalition, she delivered the keynote speech.
We're always talking about a change is going to come. You are the change. As you reflect on your day today, know that you are the change. That you are the dream and the reality of Dr. Martin Luther King.
The service featured performances from the Academy Brass Quintet and the Clarence Smith Community Choir. And another organization is getting ahead of Martin Luther King Jr. Day tomorrow. The Jewish Federation of Toledo hosted its first MLK Day of Service this morning. The temple collected items to create hygiene kits, custom pillowcases, birthday kits, and challah bread to support Sylvania area families, leading families home, the Perrysburg Heights Center, and those within their own congregation. Lisa Delson, rabbi for the temple, says their goal is to help share resources that other communities may not have.
Part of our tradition is repairing the world and finding opportunities to do so, and so we thought that this was a great opportunity to bring our community together. We also involve the Northwest Multi-Faith Council as well.
The rabbi says they plan to have this event become a tradition every year. President-elect Donald Trump will take the oath of office in the Capitol Rotunda tomorrow during his inauguration. Trump is already in the nation's capital, where he's holding one last rally before he becomes president for the second time. Law enforcement sources tell CBS News that tens of thousands of visitors are expected to be in Washington in celebration of the inauguration. CBS News' Erica Brown reports from Washington.
On the eve of his inauguration as the nation's 47th president, Donald Trump held a rally Sunday before thousands of supporters.
What a good feeling. We like winning, don't we? Huh? We're going to make our country greater than ever before. Hello, Washington, and hello, America.
It is Trump's first major speech in D.C. since January 6, 2021, when he urged the crowd to go to the Capitol to protest the results of the 2020 election. This time, Trump returns to the White House with a wide margin victory and Republican control of the House and Senate.
It's so exciting to be a part of history, to be a part of the Republican history. I'm really looking forward to it.
Earlier, Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance each placed a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery. Trump's motorcade then headed to a section of the cemetery where military personnel killed in Afghanistan and Iraq are buried. The president-elect's inauguration will be held indoors at the Capitol Rotunda because of frigid weather sweeping across the nation.
It'll just be on TV. It'll be kind of like watching it at home. I was really hoping to be able to be outside and be part of that where you're actually with Donald Trump, but didn't work out, and that's okay.
It's the first time the inauguration ceremony will be held indoors since 1985, when below freezing temperatures also forced Ronald Reagan's second inauguration inside the U.S. Capitol building. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
All right, turning to the Middle East, there is peace in Gaza for now. A ceasefire is now entering its 14th hour. Hamas has handed over 3 Israeli hostages, and they've now arrived in Israel and are safe. However, the ceasefire deal hit a 3-hour delay when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accused Hamas of failing to release the names of the first 3 hostages set to be released today. After going dark earlier this weekend, TikTok is back online. The social media app announced tonight that they're resuming service for American users after President-elect Trump promised to sign an executive order tomorrow. Trump says the order would give TikTok's China-based parent company more time to find an approved buyer. This all comes after the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the law late last week. Well, it was a disappointing start to the weekend, with the Detroit Lions being upset by the Washington Commanders. Ultimately, turnovers and the Lions' depleted defense were their undoing. Detroit has a heartbreaking ending to a historic season. The team is also facing uncertainty, with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson expected to be interviewed for a head coaching position in the NFL. Now to the College National Championship, where the Midwest is at the top of the college football world. The Ohio State Buckeyes take on the Notre Dame Fighting Irish tomorrow night. The Buckeyes got here after beating Texas 28-14, while the Irish beat Penn State with a last-second field goal to win 27-24. The game kicks off at 7:30. Well, as our nation nears the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump, we're taking a look back at presidential visits to Northwest Ohio and Southeast Michigan. From Truman to Trump, we're exploring unforgettable moments from Toledo's stops. Plus, meet a man who hosted President Jimmy Carter and his thoughts on that visit today. As you can catch parts of a live newscast from 1984. You can check all of that out on WTOL 11 Volt. That's a new show on WTOL 11 Plus. You can download the app for free on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Want to see more breakdowns of viral trends and 60-second stories? Check out our WTOL 11 social media pages on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Now let's go ahead and get a check of that weather with meteorologist Chris Vickers.
All right, we're going to kick those alert days really into full swing. That Arctic cold is pushing into the area as we speak right now. An Arctic front that's pushing in is going to kick the winds up, still bring a few scattered light snow showers, little if any additional accumulation here in the Toledo Metro. And single-digit highs the next couple of days, Monday into Tuesday. Wind chill values, we still haven't changed this at all. Most of us are going to feel about 10 to 20 below zero. Could get a few isolated spots into Wednesday morning. Then may get closer to about 20 to 25 below zero. So the risk of this long-term cold and exposure, frostbite, hypothermia, cold weather exposure, including the chance we could be talking some frozen pipes over the next couple of days. You may want to keep that little subtle drip going in some of those faucets that could be susceptible to that. So what you need to know, when is this occurring? Monday through Wednesday. We have alert days out there for the next several days. Could have some impacts to area schools as far as delays and cancellations. Long-lasting extreme cold. Yes, I know it's January. We get cold this time of the year, but this is going to put us down in the deep freeze for several days. Have those warmer winter coats if you must venture out, ready to go. Limit the exposure, and foes that work outdoors, you're going to need to come in at some point to take frequent breaks to make sure that you're able to keep yourself sustained and that body temperature sustained as well. Wind chills of about 10 to 25 below zero. Going to be one of the bigger focuses that we do have. Now, snow that is occurring right now across the East Coast. A little clip of a nor'easter that's happening. Heaviest snow from about Philadelphia through New York up into Maine. We have that Arctic front that's now passing into central Ohio. That is kicking off some snow east of us, where we did get some minor accumulations through the course of our Sunday. But overall, we're not expecting snow to be a continued risk, or at least anything widespread. Snow is now east over toward Erie and Huron County is where we're getting one little last burst of that snow. Temperature-wise, we're now dropping as that Arctic air begins to push into the area. We're at 20 in Toledo, 19 BG. There's the teens, though. 16 in Bryan, 15 in Bryan, 16 in Defiance, and 12 up toward Hillsdale. So it is turning colder, and you will be feeling it. Hour by hour forecast. We've got single-digit temperatures into the evening tonight. The feels like is what's really going to be important here. We're looking at about 15 to 20 below zero as we get into Monday morning. So this is what you're going to face if you're up early. Now keep in mind, it is a holiday tomorrow, so we're not looking at area schools being in session. Question is, will they be in session on Tuesday or on time? We'll still see those sub-zero wind chills through Monday afternoon, and it gets even a bit colder into Tuesday. So let's fast forward the clock into Tuesday, 10 to 20 below zero. We haven't changed this forecast at all over the past several days. 10 to 20 below zero, that's that threshold. We see widespread delays and even, yes, some school closings that may be possible on Tuesday. And then into Wednesday, may get a little bit closer to about 20 below zero for many areas as some of the harsher wind chills will stick around even as we go into Wednesday. So let's break this down. The high on Monday, right around 9 degrees, the wind chill of 10 to 20 below zero. As we get into Tuesday, the wind chill 10 to 20 below zero. Even into the afternoon, it's still going to be brutal. A high right around 5 degrees. And then toward the end of our alert days, Wednesday, it is still going to be brutal in the morning, 10 to 20, even up to 25 below zero with the high into the afternoon, getting a little bit closer to 14 degrees. So let's look at the hourcast as we get into our Monday. We're going to start out in the single digits just above zero. Right around 2 degrees is what we're going to be seeing. Partly sunny skies, may get a flurry or two as we go through mid-morning. 10 a.m. right around 5 degrees, single-digit readings as we go through noon. And we're not even going to crack 10 degrees tomorrow. We're going to be stuck in the single digits as we go through the next 24 hours. Really just the start of our alert day. So you're going to see it here. 3 straight alert days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We're looking at a high right around 9 degrees on Monday. The bitter cold, the low tomorrow morning, 2 degrees. Those wind chills, again, 10 to 20 below zero. 5 degrees, the high on Tuesday. Should we do this back-to-back days in the single digits, it'll be the coldest 2 winter days since late January of 2019. Partly sunny skies on Tuesday. We're going to continue your alert on Tuesday for the bitter cold. 5 degrees the daytime high. 2 below zero is going to be the low in the morning. 6 below on Wednesday. The high of right on 14. Some of the colder wind chills may still even hold off till early Wednesday morning. Once we get out of this deep freeze, we'll make a decent little jump into Thursday. Not going to be anything tropical or anything, but mid to upper 20s by Thursday. Could get clipped with a few flurries as we get into Friday. That is still going to be below average. We're right around 34 this time of the year for averages. Back to 30 degrees on Saturday. Sunday rolls around. We're going to be in the lower 30s as well. Partly sunny skies on Saturday. Chance we get a few flurries on Sunday. And then the rest of our 10-day forecast, we get close to the freezing mark as we get into Monday of next week, right around 32 degrees. And then into Tuesday and Wednesday as we round things out. We're going to be looking at highs. They're going to be close to, if not just below the freezing mark. Good reminder, you can download that WTOL 11 weather app anytime. We're going to keep you updated around the clock of this Arctic chill. It is a free download. We send video updates directly to your device, and we're going to keep you ahead of the game as we go through the second half of January on a very cold note. So we want to urge you to stay safe and to be prepared for this Arctic chill. And there it is, that free download of the WTOL 11 weather app. It is going to be cold. Hang in there. It is the winter season. We are familiar with this, and we'll get through on the other side. Appreciate you joining us here on WTOL 11 Plus. Our alert days are in full effect for the extreme cold that is just arriving into the area. Those wind chills of 10 to 25 below zero. How cold it's going to get and how long it will last. Your forecast. We have alert days that are in full effect. Bitter cold weather arriving as we speak. How cold it's going to get and how long it will last. My forecasts tonight at 11.